Hey y'all! Happy Sunday! Welcome to another Sunday night swatching. We are, of course, post PBE, so I have tons of stuff to show off. So like I did last year, we're going to be going through maker by maker. That's the easiest way to break it up is just maker by maker. So tonight we're kicking it off with Rogue Lacquer. So we'll get into that in just a minute. Ignore my band-aids, y'all. The boys Boy Scout troop, every year we have a local festival called Lions Fest in a little town just next to us. And that's technically where their Boy Scout troop is in that little town. They're based out of there. So every year for Lions Fest, we go and we help out the whole Boy Scout troop and parents and stuff. And so, like, we clean up the grounds every morning and every night. They work the food tables, just keeping them clean, things like that. And I was sweeping and decided to get some blisters. So that's what the Band-Aids are for. So nothing super major, just some blisters from sweeping. I'll survive, but, you know, blisters hurt when they pop. So I'm just trying to keep them covered. Plus, they look, blisters don't look great. Anywho, so again, we are starting with my PBE haul stuff. We're kicking tonight off with Rogue Lacquer, which I did get a good handful from her. She kind of messed me up at her table this year, y'all. I had 5 polishes on my list from her. I walked away from her table with 14. Yeah. Yep. So she definitely got me this year. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first up, this was her doorbuster. This is Rogue Out. It's this really pretty purple with rainbow flakies, big, huge, chunky flakes. So we'll go ahead and get right into it here. Get our first coat down. Polished Out of Hand is here. Hey, Jess. Happy Sunday. All right, here is one coat of Rogue Out. Lure Cherry is here. Hey, Laura. Happy Sunday. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do Sunday night swatchings anymore. If you haven't heard, I got a notification when I went to go on this live now. Instagram is now requiring people to have at least 1,000 followers to be able to do lives. I just got a warning right now. I don't know when that's going to change for me. Mama Cherry is here. Hey, Mama, happy Sunday. I'm hoping enough people notice this and complain that they maybe will not go through with changing that rule. It's kind of stupid. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep doing Sunday night swatchings. I'll have to figure something out. I do have a Facebook page, same name, Tiny Bubbles 83. But even Facebook wants like 50 or 100 followers to be able to do lives on Facebook, which, I mean, that's a hell of a lot more doable than 1,000, I'll tell you that, because I'm nowhere near that on my Instagram. I think I have like 20 on my Facebook, but I don't do much with my actual Facebook. I basically I post the Insta stuff and it transfers automatically over to Facebook. So maybe if I push that a little more, we could do it there. I do have a YouTube account. I've never posted anything on it. But I feel like even like YouTube too, I think you have to have like 100 followers or something to be able to do lives. So not exactly sure what's going to happen yet, but I guess I'll just keep plugging along with Instagram as long as they let me. So we'll see what happens for next week, but we're here now, so that's the important thing. Just says, what the actual FIG. I know, I know, it's so stupid. Laura says, oh my God, I hate Meta. They're definitely making things more complicated than they need to be. There's really no, I don't understand the reasoning behind that rule, but I'm not one of the powers that be. And I won't even pretend to understand what goes on, like, behind the scenes at a company like that. So, anywho, let's get back to our pretty polishes. I just wanted to kind of give that fair warning that I'm not sure what's going to happen next Sunday. So, we'll see when we get to that point. All right, next up for Rogue here. This was another one of her doorbusters. This is It's Still Fine. This was her collab with Chris Lacquer Dactyl, who I did briefly get to meet. Not really in official capacity. It was kind of in passing, and we were like talking to the same people. So, but we didn't like officially meet. But so this is that. Becky Atkin is here. Hey, Becky. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping on. I don't know if you guys heard, ignore my Band-Aids. I was doing some manual labor yesterday and today and decided to give myself blisters from sweeping. So nothing major. They just look really silly. So please ignore the Band-Aids. I figured the Band-Aids would be better to look at than the blisters. So, all right, let's go ahead and get one coat down of this here. And I saw him wearing this out and about around PBE. And this was kind of a tricky polish because it's technically a chartreuse. Clearly you can see it's the green yellow, but in low lighting, it looked like straight gold. It was actually really cool. Just says mowing. No, I was sweeping. Oh, I had a big old blister at PBE from mowing. No, the boys, their Boy Scout troop is based out of South Milwaukee, which is a town like right next to us. And every year they have a local festival. It's called Lions Fest. And the Lions, it's one of those community program, like I don't want to call it a corporation, but they're like a nonprofit. They help support the troop like financially throughout the year. And so as a way to give back, every year the whole troop comes together and they actually work at the Lions Fest. So like we do cleanups in the morning. We collect all the cans, we pick up garbage, put things back together if chairs and stuff are moved around. Then we do shifts working the food tables, just cleaning them up and wiping them down with bleach water, stuff like that. And then we do final cleanups on Saturday. We do a cleanup on Saturday night. And then final cleanup is Sunday night. So tonight was final cleanup. Just as a way to say thank you for them, supporting the troop, things like that. Gets the boys, community service hours, volunteering, stuff like that. But the parents come and help too. And so I was sweeping under the music tent. And as you can imagine, it's a pretty big tent, so it was a lot of ground to cover, and I ended up getting blisters from that, so ignore those. Christine's Pictures is here. Hey, Christine. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping in. Okay, I digressed again. I'm sorry. Back to the polish. So this was one of her PBE exclusives. This is Slice Slice Baby, which this one is so pretty. I love this color combinations that she's got going on here. The fiery flakies and that light gray base. I love it. Yeah, man, she messed me up at her table this year. I blacked out over there. I'm not sure who was all in when I first said it, but I was doing really good this year. Like, I had my whole list. I tweaked that list. Oh my God, probably 30 times. Kurt was laughing at me because I'm steady, like erasing and then rewriting and then flipping through because I had like a little tiny notebook that I was using. And so I had a maker on each page and what I wanted. And then I was changing it like as stuff got added or, relocated to stay within my budget. I had 5 polishes on my list for Rogue for this year. It was her exclusives, the 4 exclusives, and then one other, like a small batch, I think it was, that she brought. I walked away from her table with 14 polishes. And y'all tell me why I got neons. I bought her neons. Y'all, I don't even like neons. But I liked hers. They were so pretty. All right. Here is one coat of Slice Slice Baby. I'm telling you, some of these people, man, some of these makers, they did me dirty this year, but I did really good. I did have a little bit of a buffer in my budget because I knew once I got to people's tables, I was going to see something that I hadn't factored into my list. But overall, I did really good. I think I did really good anyways. I mean, y'all saw my picture. I'd say I did pretty good. All right, next up is another one of the limited editions. This is Lincoln Park Lush, which I love this one. This beautiful teal with those flakes. I will say she does do good flakies. Rachel really knows how to make a flaky. So, I mean, I guess hers isn't a horrible table to black out at. And I did end up getting like a few extras from other people. Like when I went to Red Eye, you know, she had her $5 bin. So I did end up grabbing a couple of those. I got a few collabs that I hadn't factored in from Jen and Barry's. All right, here it is, one coat. Oh, this is so pretty. The iridescent flakies and then those turquoise ones. So pretty. And yeah, I don't know if I even need to explain this one. This is Chica Glow. Well, I suppose Chicago. But it sounds weird if I say it's Chicago. I don't even need to say anything on this. It is stunning. I can't wait to see it swatched. I almost had a mini meltdown at her table. Because she had released, I don't know if y'all remember, those Austin, what did she call that collection? The Ostentatious Shimmer Collection. I want that collection in the worst way. I have been eyeballing it since she came out with it, but you know, life and priorities, and I usually end up ordering from other people, so I've never gotten them. She had at least one there that I saw, and I thought she had brought the whole collection. Y'all, I thought it was over for me right then and there. I did not get just the one because I want to be able to get the whole collection, but I almost had a little freak out. I looked at her, I said, "Oh, you brought the Austin Shimmers?" And she's like, "No, not the whole thing." And I'm like, okay. Because I would have walked away from that table with that collection too. So I think she's got like one sold out on her website though. So maybe when that gets restocked, I'll be able to bite the bullet. All right, that was one coat of Chicago, which just sounds weird to say. I like Chica Glow better. Even though I know that's not how it should be pronounced because it's like Chicago, but glow. Y'all get it. All right, last of our limited editions is Bean Me Up. Another gorgeous flaky bomb. So, did anybody do anything fun this weekend? What kind of mischief did y'all get into? It's been a long weekend for me. I'm ready to just sleep. So yesterday we had the morning cleanup, which started at 8 o'clock at Lions Fest, and then the boys. Well, David sat out this year because he was being a poop, but they usually walk in. They have a parade on Saturday morning. That dang on parade lasted like 2 hours. I was not expecting it to be that long. But then we had to rush to a graduation party. So we had the cleanup, the parade, then a graduation party. So it was a long day yesterday. All right, here it is, one coat. I'm not sure if she's got overpours up just yet. I know they were coming. I'm not sure if she's released them or not yet, but I feel like she did have some overpours of the limiteds and the doorbusters, so y'all might still be able to get your hands on them. Just said I had some wine, first time in forever. Ooh, maybe I should pour myself a glass tonight. That sounds kind of good. All right, I do believe this was gift with purchase. It's not labeled as such, but it's named Mash and Grab. And I don't remember actually grabbing this one from the table, so I'm assuming this was indeed the gift with purchase. Which, again, huge flaky bomb. Becky says I had to work Saturday and just have been lazy the rest of the weekend. Well, good for you, Becky. You take that weekend. Well, what's left of it. I'm sorry you had to work on Saturday. Oh, look at how good those flakies are. That is one coat of Mash and Grab. I don't know if she'll have this up on her website or not. I'm not sure how that works with, gifts with purchase. If there's any left over. I don't know if there even was any left over, but. All right. So this was the one other polish that I actually had on my list when I got there. It was, again, the 4 limited editions and then this one. I believe this is one of the small batches. This is, yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Laura says I'm correct. It was the gift. Okay, thank you, Laura. Was the gift with purchase. Just hate to bring up another maker during Rogue's time, but I must look out for my friend. Did I get... I sure did get it. Yes. Yep. All right. We'll go ahead and get our first coat on here. Her table was the first one that I went to, so don't worry. I'm covered there. Yeah, when we get to that one, I will... Y'all, we're in for a doozy on that one. Her and, so Vivi and Jen and Barry's were my 2 biggest tables. All right, here is one coat of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So again, with the small batches, I'm sure if there was any left, she'll probably put that up on her site if it's not already there. So of course, head to roguelacquer.com and you can check all these out. Hey, Plant E21. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping in. All right, now to the unplanned polishes that I walked away with. Laura says you and Mom booked it to Vivi. Yes, we did. And what's funny is there were already a few people ahead of us. But yeah, I was not trying to miss anything from there. And I double teamed. Like, so I sent Kurt to a couple of tables with my list. So for the first couple tables, we double teamed it. And then we met up. I think it was by Bianca that we met up. So I missed one polish. There was one polish that I had on my list that was sold out before I got there. So in the grand scheme of things, missing one polish, I'll survive. All right, next up, this is Pixie Realm. And it's a gorgeous shimmer. So you guys can clearly see why this left the table with me. And y'all, when I say I am seriously like a crow, like it's not just a joke. Like if it sparkles or shimmers or shines, like I'm instantly drawn to it. It's horrible. I have a really bad case of ADOS. It's a little thing I like to call attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. which I don't say that to make fun of anyone with actual ADD or ADHD, because both my boys have it. I'm just saying. I have a different variation of it. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. That's one coat. Look at how opaque that is in one coat. Can't even see my red Band-Aid behind it. Oh, that is stunning. Love it. All right, trying to keep it moving here. Next up, we have Bumble. And again, a gorgeous shimmer in there. So you can clearly see why I snagged this one too. Robertson Frida is here. Happy Sunday. Thanks for coming on. We're just going through with first coats on Rogue. She is starting off my PBE haul this year. Oh, this is pretty. This is going to be a really good one for when I do manis for the boys for school. Look at that shimmer. Okay, don't mind that little blurb right there. It's a fuzzy or something that was on my swatch stick, not the polish. This sort of reminds me of, what's that? Who made, what was it, Orion? It was just in PPU Rewind, and everybody like went nuts and sold it out. And then they were mad that it was sold out. This sort of reminds me of that. Nail Artisan, is that who made it? I don't remember who made that one. So what I'm saying is if you were sad, if you missed out on that one, that could be a close one, a close dupe for you. I mean, obviously, I'd have to compare it side by side because I do have that Orion polish from the original time when they were in PPU, way back when. I did not get the rewind. All right, y'all. Now here, we listen and we don't judge, okay? These are the neons that I walked away from her table with when I don't even like neons. I mean, obviously, I like the polishes or I wouldn't have bought them. Let me put that little asterisk there. Here's the blue one. So this is her Neon Besties. I did get the quad. It's a quad. As far as I know, it's just a quad. I'm pretty sure there was only 4. I mean, I have 4 of them, so I hope I'm not missing one, or that will really irritate me. But first up here, it's Totally Your Business. So this was the neons requested by Latanya. So we'll go ahead with our first coat on that. I mean, I know these are neons. I guess with the exception of like the yellow one, I mean, it's bright, but it's not. The yellow one coming up is kind of highlighter-y. But, you know, the rest of them, it's not like I just took a highlighter and colored on my nails. So I love the shimmer that she added in these. I mean, that is gorgeous. So I guess that's the caveat to getting me to like neons. Put some shimmer in it. All right, next up, this is Main Squeeze, which of course is orange. But again, beautiful shimmer in there. So we'll go ahead and get our first coat on there. Here it is, one coat. I really wish we could have another PBE weekend. Like, even without going hash and buying all the polish, like, I just want to see everybody again. I'm so sad now. I mean, I think I'm out of like the worst of the PBE crash, but it definitely hit me kind of hard this year. I feel like there were a lot of people that I didn't get to spend as much time with as I really wanted to. All right, here's the yellow I was talking about. It is bright. So I feel like it's pulling a little green on camera. Excuse me. So I mean, it's got blue shimmer in there, but in person it's more towards the yellow than the green. Let me see if I put a different color behind it. No, not really. Let me see if the swatch does it once we get it on the swatch stick. Did I tell you the name of this? It's Best Tease. Sorry if I didn't tell you the name of it yet. Just you need the yellow. I mean, okay. It is pretty, but don't tell nobody I said that. For a neon yellow, I do like it, but don't tell nobody. I have a reputation to uphold here. I can't have people thinking that I love neons now. Here it is, one coat. So obviously with that blue shimmer in there, it's pulling greener, but there, that yellow, like when you see it there, that's what the base looks like. But then it's got that beautiful shimmer in it. So that was one coat. All right, y'all. Last one for first coats, and then we'll come back through with our second. And last one of that collection. This is You're My Top Pickety Pick Pick, which is this purpley pink, pinky purple, however you prefer to call it. And I am wearing, so this is 2 coats of Top Pickety Pick Pick. And then this is 2 coats of Rogue Out. And you guys, you gotta, let me see if I can show you. Do y'all see that huge flaky right there? It's ginormous. I just had to show you that. Because that was a big old flaky. And my mind cannot decide if I want to call this a pink purple or a purple pink. Because it's kind of, it rides that line right in between. Like, is it really pink? No, it's too purpley to call it pink, but it's too pink to call it purple. So, I don't know, magenta, maybe? Neon magenta, I guess, would be a good way to officially call it. This is one coat. And honestly, when I did it on my nails, even too, I could have stopped at one coat. I mean, you can see how opaque it is. I legit could have been fine with one coat, but something in my brain will not let me do only one coat of color. So I did add a second. All right, that was one coat, Top Pickety Pick Pick. All right, we'll come through with our second coats here, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. Slopes is here. Hey, Slopes, happy Sunday. All right, coming back in, second coats. Here is one of the doorbusters. This is Rogue Out, which is what I'm wearing, 2 coats. We'll go ahead and get our second coat on here. So you guys, I took pictures of the dupes that I had from like the swag bags and that, and I put them in the Polish and Expo group for sale or trade, because I'm like, what am I going to do with them, right? They're just going to sit in my basement and be unloved. And so I'm like, okay. So I asked for a little advice from a couple friends, just for shipping and stuff, because I have no clue how to quote shipping or anything like that. So, you know, I got a little bit of advice. Right, here's 2 coats of Rogue Out on the clear swatch stick, and then 2 coats on my thumb. So obviously you can see it's sheer, but it is a clear swatch stick. I mean, you do not see any nail line on the nail itself. Slope says, I'm so glad that Instagram let you go live. They did tonight, thankfully. I'm not sure if that will be the case next week because I did get a warning that things were changing. And of course, I do not have 1,000 followers on my Instagram. I'm not even close to that. And I highly doubt that I'll ever get 1,000 followers, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. But it is going to be sad if I can't do my lives anymore. I don't know what I'll do if I can't do my lives anymore. I'll have to explore other options, whether that be Facebook or YouTube, trying to get enough followers on either one of those platforms to continue, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. We'll see how long they let me squeak by. I don't know. But we're here now, so. All right, here is the next one up. This is another doorbuster. It's Still Fine. This was her collab with Lacquer Dactyl. So I put all my dupes up for sale, and I am getting so darn overwhelmed right now. I apparently really did not think this through. Just trying to keep up with the comments right now and the messages. And, I'm keeping track of what, first come, first serve, kind of who's buying what. But now I got to send like the PayPal requests for payment. And then I got to figure out where I'm going through for shipping. It's a mess. Who let me do this? Slopes. What is Slopes doing at gmail.com? Why would you let me do this? Unsupervised Slopes. Here's 2 coats. I really like this one. I don't know if those of you that went to PBE, if you guys saw Lacquer Dactyl wearing this. It's very shifty. Like in low lights, it looked straight gold. It was really cool. It was a very pretty polish. So yeah, that was a little bit of an unplanned one on my part. I didn't intend to grab the doorbusters, but here we are, and I'm happy I did. I can't play like I'm not happy. I've got them. All right, next up we're getting into the exclusives. This is Slice Baby. Slip says, okay, I know I came in late. Why do you have Band-Aids? I got blisters sweeping outside at an event, a festival that the boys were working. I was helping. I was sweeping. I was wearing my nitrile gloves because we were like picking up garbage and stuff like that too. So, but I was sweeping with the gloves on too. And it's been like 90 degrees here and super humid. So I was sweating, especially in the nitrile gloves. And I think that's what did it. Like my hands were wet underneath, and yeah, I just got 2 blisters, one on each side. I didn't figure you guys would want to stare at my blisters all night, so I put some fun Band-Aids on them. All right, here's our second coat, Slice Baby. Jess says, pirate ship is easy. You can import from PayPal, and I think it's pretty much the cheapest. Okay, I am going to check them out, so thank you. I did, funny enough, thanks Meta, I've been getting ads for them on my Facebook feed. So I'm definitely going to check them out. But I've never done a D-stash before, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just add from my collection. I don't take away. I mean, not that I'm really taking away. These are all dupes, so I'm not like losing them, but all right, here is 2 coats of Slice Baby. This one is so much fun. I feel like this is going to be a good one for me to use for the boys' concerts, the school concerts. I love these kinds where they're like the neutral bases and then the pops of colors. And like the colors that are in here just remind me of like the percussion section. I don't know why, but it does. So I'm happy with that one. That one was on my list. I knew I was going to get that one. Well, provided it didn't sell out. But just as I wouldn't have the money to buy more if I didn't rotate some back out through Stash. I can't imagine parting with them. And I know, like, I will probably never be able to wear every single polish that I have more than once. But I never know what I want to wear at any given time. So I don't know. I'm a mess. Y'all know I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I'm a hoarder. I'm a polish hoarder. I'll admit it. I can't, I don't know. I can't see getting rid of them. So more power to you that can, because I would probably be much better off if I was able to actually just let things go. But I am not Elsa. I cannot let it go. All right, next up of the exclusives, we have Lincoln Park Lush. Look at all the flakies. I love me a good flaky bomb. You know, and y'all know what's funny. This is how bad it is. So this is how much thought I put into it. So the app that I catalog my polishes in on my phone, I actually changed it up a little bit, and I added to where I can put like an estimated value for the polishes, so that, God forbid, if something should happen to me, Kurt and the boys are not stuck with all of these polishes, not knowing what to do with them. Like, because I would be devastated, and I would turn over in my grave if they went and sold like my Great Lakes lacquers for like $2 a bottle or something stupid like that. Like, you cannot do that. No, 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 no. I legit would have to come back and hunt them. Like, full on poltergeist, throwing stuff in the house. Like, I will not be happy if I find out that you sold some of my polishes for something like $2 each or even $5 each. Like, do you realize those are Great Lakes lacquers? Like, you cannot get those. So I added a thing where I can put in like an estimated value if anything ever happens to me, so that they can be dealt with properly. Here is 2 coats. Oh, this is so pretty. I love this one. Just as I try to use 2 similar polishes, one on each hand. If one has a better formula, or if I have 5 of the same or very similar, it goes into the pile. Well, that makes sense. I guess that's a good way to do it. You know, if they're super close, like, why do you need 4 of them? I get it. I will say I hoard these kind, though. Like this, with that blue shimmer. I don't care who makes it. I'm sure I already have 5 other polishes that look maybe not identical, but very similar. I will still buy all of the dark blue shimmers like this that I can find. But in the same sense, this color is one of my main go-tos for the boys' band manis or the bowling manis, because it matches their school colors. So I try to not buy like the same color from different bands, except for this. This I will buy from anyone who has it. This is Chicago, which I still don't like saying it that way. In my mind, it wants to be Chica Glow, but I know that's not right. So call it whatever you want in your head. But this is another one of her limited editions, and it is absolutely stunning. I love it. I'm such a sucker for the blue shimmer. This one does have a little bit more of a purpley base to it. I try to kind of stay away from the purpley based ones, but the shimmer makes up for the purple base in this. Like I usually try to find them if they have them with either a dark blue or a black base. But look at how stunning that is. So how much wine have you had, Jess? Are you still drinking it? What kind of wine do you like? I'm not a huge fan of wine. I like the really light fruity stuff like the Moscato. But I've got some really good, I've got honeydew flavor and peach flavored wine. Laura says, sitting on the floor in my polish room trying to rip my desk apart to fit a Helmer while listening to you. Oh, you did get the Helmer. Good for you. I'm considering a Helmer. Maybe I also need some wine for this. Probably. All right, next up we have Bean Me Up. I think I might have to grab some wine when I get done with this, because then I have to go upstairs and, well, one, check comments again on my little D-stash post, and two, I have to get into my PayPal and start sending people requests for money. So this ought to be fun. Wish me luck. And then after I do that, I will start looking into shipping options. So pirate ship will be the first thing I check out. And then tomorrow I will have to go actually get a bunch of bubble mailers, which make me super nervous, guys. But I don't want to ship one polish in one of the like priority boxes. But even the priority boxes, they're up to like $10 now to ship. It used to be $5 to ship those. Oh, this one's pretty. Requesting money is the best. You should do well with what you listed. The vast majority has been claimed. Like I just put it all pending, obviously until payment is received. But all right, there we are, 2 coats. But yeah, I think there's a couple comments that I didn't get to before I came down here because I wanted to get to this. I was already running a little late. But I think there's maybe only 4, maybe 5 polishes that aren't pending. Something like that. And I think I had like 35 polishes posted. All right, here we go. Second coat on the gift with purchase. This is Mash and Grab. Jess says, my ex-stepbrother and ex-stepsister and their wife husband came over for dinner and brought some. I don't know what it was. A red, smooth, easy. I got tipsy and I wasn't even hungover. Nice. That's always nice when you don't get hungover the next day. Yeah, I don't normally drink, like, you saying it was a red wine, it probably would not have been up my alley. But I don't really like any alcohol that really tastes super alcohol-y, if that makes sense. Like, I'm always a fruity drink kind of girl. So, like, my main go-to is Malibu and pineapple juice. Or I like to do cherry Dr. McGillicuddy's. I don't know if you guys have ever even heard of cherry doctors. But that with 7-Up, it basically is an adult version of a Shirley Temple. When you'd get like as a kid, when you'd get 7-Up and maraschino cherry juice, or grenadine, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is an adult version of that. All right, here is 2 coats of Mash and Grab. Look at all those fun flakies in there. Jess says, it's seriously been forever since I've drank a drop. I was a little nervous about how it would make me feel. I mean, let's be honest. I'm from Wisconsin. We drink. I mean, it's socially. I only drink socially, but we drink up here. I'm sorry. I mean, we don't have to have a good time. Most of us enjoy the flavor. I personally hate beer. I do not like beer. I cannot drink it. I never acquired the taste for it. Ugh. But very rarely do I actually drink, like, at home. If I'm drinking, I'm out and about with people. All All right, next up we have Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This was a small batch. But every once in a while, like if I've had a really hard day at work, I will have a glass of wine. My fruity stuff. But also part of the problem with me not liking wine, I really believe, is I grew up in a Catholic school. Like I went to Catholic school till 6th grade. I think I made it to 6th grade. And then I was like, I'm done with this. If anybody knows anything about Catholic churches and their church wine, whoa, no, 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 don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trap. I mean, I know it's symbolic and it's the blood of Christ and, you know, I get it, but it does not taste good at all. So that probably, honestly, is what turned me off on wine. Here is 2 coats of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love this one. So pretty. All right, next up is Pixie Realm. But we are good. Like, we obviously don't drive when we've been drinking, so. You know, Kurt will enjoy a beer or two. But for him, that's nothing. Here it is, 2 coats. Look at how gorgeous that is. I love the base color with this shimmer. It's very unique. I'm excited to wear this one. All right, we're getting there, guys. Almost done. Almost done. Sorry, I know it's later tonight than normal. I just wasn't sure exactly what time we were going to be home from the final cleanup tonight. So, and yeah, I definitely was not home in time to make it on my live for 7. So, I appreciate you guys still hanging with me even though we're later tonight. All right, this is Bumble. Another unexpected, unplanned bottle that found its way into my basket. I just wish I didn't live so far away from everybody. Except for Liz. I've got Liz here. Liz Mao. She's about 40 minutes from me. All right. Here it is, 2 coats. Jess says, I love Bumble. Do you have this one already, Jess? It is so pretty. All right, now for the neons that I don't want to talk about. First up, this is It's Totally Your Business. And I almost put this on as my mani. I was going to do this and one of the flakies, one of the other flakies. I don't remember which one I was going to do now. But I'm like, I already wore blue. I know I love my blues, but I figured I'd better change it up a little bit. So I went with pink purple. Pinky purple. Oh, you got it on Black Friday? Nice. All right. Here is our second coat. Nope, get in there. This is It's Totally Your Business. I just love these shimmers. All right, next up we have Main Squeeze. I am really not looking forward to checking all these messages when I get off of here. I hope people are not still going crazy. Like, within minutes of me posting, my Facebook was blowing up. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? I take it back. I take it back. Oh, Lord help me. All right, here is 2 coats of Main Squeeze. Sunflower Steffi is here. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping on. We're just on the tail end here. Ooh, as I'm throwing things around, showing off what I got from Rogue at PBE. But you can always feel free to check out the replay and fast forward through once I get this posted. All right, here we go with Best Tees. Do you prefer Stephanie or do you like Steffi? Because I see your handle is Steffi, but I always like to ask preferred. So I'm like, I don't care what anybody calls me. The one exception is I don't really like being called Chris. Only because the first dentist that I ever worked for, he called me Chris. And he was kind of a, I hope there's no kids on anymore. He was kind of a douchebag. And so he'd be hollering down the office, Chris, Chris. And it kind of killed it. Like, I didn't care before that. He kind of ruined it for me. So I don't care what you call me late, and don't call me late for dinner, and don't call me Chris. All right, here is 2 coats. She says, hello, storm took out our power, just came back on. Oh no, where are you at? You guys are getting storms? That's not good. She says either is fine. Okay. I'll be honest, I'll probably end up calling you Steffi more often than Stephanie. I used to work with a Steffi, and I loved her. So I'm used to Steffi. My boys called her Nana Steffi. They were very little when she worked there, though. She hasn't been there for quite a while, but I'm still friends with her on Facebook and love her. Laura, I never thought to call you anything but Christina or Tiny Bubbles. And that's what, like, I'll answer to Tiny Bubbles. And Christina is fine. Like, I've only ever had one person in my life call me Tina, and that was my uncle. He's literally the only one that ever calls me Tina. I don't know why, but I don't care. Like, I'll answer to anything. So, I'm not picky. Again, as long as it's not Chris. I don't like Chris. It brings up bad memories. All right. This is the last one, guys. We made it. This is You're My Top Pickety Pick Pick. Laura says we're having storms over here. Power flickered a few times. Oh. Well, I'll have to check my radar. I don't think we're even supposed to get anything tonight. We haven't had any. We had a little bit of rain yesterday morning, but just drizzles. Steffi says, funny, I don't like Steph. Growing up, a neighbor was also Stephanie, so her brother said he'd call her Steph and me Stephanie, so Steph is her name. Got it. That makes sense. In my 7th grade class, we had a Chris, an actual boy Chris. We had a Christy. We had a Kristen. And then we had me, which was Christina. So I used to feel real bad for that teacher. And I was really good friends with both the Christy and the Kristen. In Virginia, got thunderstorms. Okay. Oh, you're way over there. Way over and up there. I mean, I'm not good with geography, but I know that's towards the East Coast. I've never been up that way. The closest I've been on the East Coast there is my aunt. I used to have an aunt that lived in Baltimore. I'm sorry, Balmer. I believe is how they pronounce it, Balmer. And I did visit them once for like a week, but that was it. I don't really remember much of it. That was a long time ago. I really should get some exploring done on the East Coast. I imagine it's very beautiful up there. All right, here she is. Last one, 2 coats. Top Pickety Pick Pick from the Neon Besties collection. All right, that's all she wrote. So tonight was kind of a mid-length of what they're going to be from here on out with my PBE stuff. Like I said, I do have a couple of big ones that are going to be doozies, so we might need some drinks and get comfy for that one. So Victorian Varnish will be one of those, Jen and Berries. I always go a little hash at their tables. It's just, it is what it is. I did do some pretty good damage at Alchemy and Red Eye this year, so those are probably going to be a little longer. But the vast majority is probably going to be about like what tonight is or less. So I did pretty good. You know, I got my favorites. I went a little crazy at Rogue got me. But yeah, and as far as coming back live next week, I obviously am going to plan on it. We'll see what Instagram does if they allow me. Again, yeah, I'm not even close to 1,000 followers. There's no way. Like, unless I do whatever how those people pay for follows or whatever. Like, there's just, it's unrealistic. So we'll play that by ear. But, Laura says Salem girls trip. Ooh, that would be fun. I'd love to see Salem. That would be so cool. Steffi says it is. I'm from West Coast in Virginia for only a few years now. Oh, that must have been, I bet that was like culture shock for you. Because it's so, like, regional differences are so weird to me around the United States. I love hearing about it though, like it amuses me. It's so interesting. She says, I'll go back and watch what I missed. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but if you hold on, I found a little trick. If you hold the right side of your screen when you're watching, it'll like speed it up. It'll fast forward it ×2. So you don't have to listen to me blather on about, you know, random nonsense. You can just see the colors and get on with your life. I learned that little trick. But yeah, so as far as what I showed off tonight, as far as all that goes, I don't know for sure if she's got her overpours up and running on the website yet, but definitely go check out roguelacquer.com if there was something that caught your eye tonight. I'm sure the neons, if those are your jam, are probably still available. That was like from her regular shop anyways. The few shimmers, with the exception of the small batch, are probably on her website because those were from like previous collections anyways. The only thing I would say, obviously, I'm not certain about would be the small batch or obviously the exclusives. I doubt the gift with purchase would be up there, so I'm sorry. If that really caught your eye, maybe you can find a D-stash. I'll cross my fingers for you. But other than that, yeah, check out her website if anything, you know, was calling to you tonight. But I will let you guys know, obviously, once I know, if we end up being able to go live next week. I don't know who I'll come with. I'll decide that during the week sometime, but I'll post about it. But thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, even though it was a little bit later. Next week, I'm obviously going to try to go back to the normal time of 7 Central. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and hopefully I can see you again next Sunday. Take care, y'all.